Welcome to Pevensey. We're off to Pevensey Bay to JS Gedge to have a look and do a review on the demo of the latest Honda Africa Twin version. This is the 1000cc Honda Africa Twin, so looking forward to doing a demo ride. Well, all aboard JS Gedge Honda Africa Twin manual. So having just ridden the DCT, check that video out and have a little look at that. And let's just go through the operation again. So a lot less buttons on the control side than on the other one. The left hand side pretty much similar, but again without the flappy little handles. So this is the red, white and blue. That's good for us over here in the UK and other countries as well also. So ignition on. Flash your lights. We've got traction control button and ABS. Obviously, they're waiting to come on once the bike's moving. Petrol, yes, we go and get that now. So note from the DCT that the start button is there. Not trying to look for someone else. This is much easier to find that it's a start button because there's no other choice. But on the other one, you've got another little button below it, which is confusing. So you must remember, I've now got a clutch lever and a gear lever. So again, nice and low. I've got both feet flat on the ground, no problem whatsoever. So pulling away. Well, first response is I'm back at home with a clutch and a gear lever. I don't have to think about pulling away from a junction, whereas with the DCT one, I think there is a bit of a lag, and but that's more to get used to it. I actually pulled away in second there, and it actually felt smoother than the DCT. Well, anyway, let's get some petrol. We're in third gear. We're on a manual. We got very white hand guards, which sort of distracting me a little bit, being so bright. So I think I would change those. Obviously the mirrors are just as good. They not adjusted quite so much, so let's get those out. Drops and bits and pieces. So again, traction control, there's off, and let's see, we've got the same modes. 3, 2 and 1 on the traction control. Let's put it into traction control 2. Just basically open the throttle and it goes. In my respect, that possibly an improvement over the DCT, but I think generally that the DCT, once learnt how to use it to suit your riding, is definitely where things will go. But let's see, petrol and then a ride, and as you might have seen there, I forgot to pull the clutch in and change down gear. So it's very easy to get used to one type of bike and then back to the other, and your mind's sort of set in the mode. So yeah, let's get petrol, concentrate, and then and see how it goes. Okay, same procedure with the fueling, which I don't like. There's a bar in the tank there, so carefully does it on the fueling up. Left our indicator on. Right, okay, so we put some fuel in. We've got a gear lever, we've got a clutch lever, and it's now down to me to operate it. So it doesn't look like the road's been closed so far, so where that little accident was earlier, let's hope it's open again. So we'll do the first couple of little bends here. Traffic's coming the other way, so the road's open. So third gear, basically hold it open. Right, I can smell a bit of fumes from the petrol tank, but that's because that bar's in there, and you overspill a little bit, just splashes back. So just be careful for that. Other than that, it's very responsive. You know, we're in third gear here, which is mostly where its home would be on the back roads. Well, you know, the sort of twisty A road, B roads, sort of bits and pieces, as opposed to the touring bit. So I think third on here is equivalent to most likely about second on my cross tourer. So just being careful here, as there was the accident earlier. Seems to be cleared. Car still in the ditch, but otherwise everything all clear and good. So let's have a bit of fun on this bike and see where we go. So third, fourth, throwing back down, changing down, just looking around, indicators well positioned at the front, mirrors are nicely angled. I can, you know, still see a bit of myself in there, but not too bad. Seating position is comfortable. I don't feel perched up. I can see a van coming. Oh, we didn't get it, that's not a problem. Yeah, a bit of a good kick on there. I think if I was on the DC version, I might be panicking a little bit, you know, until I get used to dropping it down manually and then opening the throttle on a situation like that. So but that's what you get used to. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to actually you know, do a sort of night ride and see what the lights are like. Instantly at home on these. I mean, you know, Honda make bikes, you know, come say a little bit soulless, but you know, this one's got a nice grunt. It's a twin, so it's got a better kick and torque. It's, you know, it's got a nice sort of noise to it, you know, without being loud and offensive. Yeah, so you know, it's just easy to ride, functional, useful, good bike. No need to worry about it. Just get on it, ride it, instantly at home. Right, where's your next adventure? So again, on the controls, we got select and set. This is all the information for your trip switches and your info, display, bits and pieces. So rummage with those as you see fit. Traction control, we've been through. The button on the back here is hold it in and you off, and hold it back in, back on again, and then the display next to the gear indicator. You've got 3 bars, 2 bars, 1 bar. Horn, lights, indicators, other side, hazard, stop start. So any other button? That's about it at the moment. Yeah, I think, you know, the third gear is again a nice gear. Obviously the speedo is calibrated in kilometres per hour. You know, as the DCT was. You know, this is a demo ride, so I'm mostly in a lower gear than what I'd normally be in if I was going out on a longer ride. This is a short ride, so I really want to just get out and try and encompass as much as I can within it. So I think by doing that, I would actually be in a lower gear, using the throttle more than if I was on a out for the day, for example. So I can only get a certain feedback within the allotted time. So you know, that's see what it's like in top gear. So in top gear at you know, 8 o'clock, 50 miles an hour. You know, it's poodling along quite nicely here. I think, you know, you'd happily stay here if I was just to, well, there's a junction coming up, so I don't want to tweak the throttle now, and there's a couple of bends, so but just a little kick there. I could, you know, there is response. I can feel the torque. Just approaching a bend now, so we're just changed down the gear without the sort of braking sign of it. So into third again. Feels very light round here. You know, the road conditions aren't great and the tyres are new, so you know, it's under the circumstances. You know, that little band there is where it spun out on the DCT. I didn't notice it this time. You know, the brain logs these little things, and next time we go around a similar sort of situation, you sort of miss that. So you know, but then I've put down the traction control to 1, so it shouldn't be kicking in too early. Not seen the light come on at all on this or the other one. But you know, my impressions now, having reading the DCT and then this one, is that I prefer the manual option. You know, I think it's more not playing with the gadgets. You know, I think the gadgets is fine, but maybe they just distracted me from the riding because they're new to me. So I'm concentrating on gadgets as opposed to concentrating on riding. Whereas this, yeah, it's got a gear lever, it's got a clutch lever. You go. You know, even stationary. You know, you can just give the throttle a little blip, and you know, it sounds much more nicer than the automatic, because you know, you're revving a little bit, whereas you know the other one will want to drive you forward. So you know, it's all down to good. But yeah, sort of third gear, 50 mile an hour. Having more fun because I'm, you know, just riding it more naturally now. So we'll give it another, you know, a few more miles and a few more challenges, and see what we think generally on the way back. Yes, enjoying this very much, even on day like today. You know, starting to have fun now. Accelerating, braking. You know, having a bit more confidence around the bends. And I'll cover. Let's just say, initially at the moment, the manual has it over the automatic. But nevertheless, this is a, you know, it's a bike, and that's fun. I don't normally like to do comparisons, but this would, to me, would be more in conjunction with the Triumph 800 XC Tiger. I think the 800 is just a bit more pokey than this. It seems to accelerate a bit more, but then on mine I did lower the gearing a fraction to give it a bit more pickup. So you know, again, another option on here. Again, being a twin, still lots of nice little torque, easy pickup, grunt, sound, everything else as we've said before. So you know, lightweight. I don't feel that the bike is tying itself up in knots, where being a bit too heavy for the type of riding that it does. So in that respect, it's nice, comfortable. It would be nice to give the I don't know, they're going to say off-road, but the more adventure traily one, when its spec comes out, whether it's just tyres or not quite sure. You know, there is a G button, lovely, on the automatic version, which is for so-called off-roading only. You know, gravel, it just cuts out any clutch lag, so you know, which is what you want. Just want a response. But either way, you know, all very nice. You know, I think Honda are going to sell these well. I think that the more sporty tourer people will stick to the cross runner and the cross tourer. I think this is going to develop its own little niche, similar to the XC and XR Tiger 800. That's where I see the comparisons to and the choices. So yeah, I mean, I'd love a bigger garage. I'd love to have more bikes in it. I'd love to have more money as well to do that. But I would definitely put one of these in my garage. I'd be quite happy with the more off-road adventure Africa Twin. It's got a name that you know, has been around for a long time. It's been a long time coming, this new bike spoken about. So well done, Honda. I think you've you know, you've embraced the adventure market. I think the height's wide enough to get these over the car mirrors if you're filtering. Bit of pannier, but yeah, the screen's nice. I do like that. Display's instant. You know, that's no problem. Bit of kick, bit of grunt. You know, I think this is a very nice bike, and it'll be interesting when I get back onto the cross tour what I feel about that one. But this one, yeah, this one and the DCT, yeah, I do like them both. Well done, Honda. Thank you to JS Gedge and all that, and yeah, looking forward to fully kitting one up, all the top specs. Not letting anyone else demo it, and I'll buy it off you in a year's time. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Of course, while I do like the manual version, on the automatic there is the don't forget there is the option of putting that in manual mode. So yeah, maybe the automatic is the better option in manual mode, and just flipping levers as opposed to well, flipping flippers as opposed to flipping levers. So yeah, maybe you know, that's when you get more time to explore it. Okay, just for reference, we're coming up to the car that did a little bit of off-roading, so obviously got as far as here, around the first corner. There's a recovery vehicle, no bloody bits and pieces, and got himself in there. You know, that's bloody dangerous for that recovery vehicle. There should have been a triangle, some warning further out and further back from it. I mean, I deliberately slowed down, and I can imagine if I hadn't known that something was there and I was going normal speed and something coming the other way and wanted to overtake that recovery vehicle, it could have been interesting in this in these conditions. It's very windy today. I can feel the blustering. I think that's more, you know, the wind and the side wind as opposed to the screen. So you know, that's it. And it's a little wet, and tonight's forecast more rain. I must say thank you to JS Gedge for letting me out this morning on a Honda Africa Twin, and then another Honda Africa Twin. Both bikes were ready and waiting for me this morning, DCT and manual option. There they are. They'll be happy to see you, give you a cup of coffee, cup of tea. You know, if you're lucky, you might even get a biscuit. But you know, all good. There's what we just went on earlier. Nicely rinsed down. Not too bad. Little look through. You know, there's obviously facilities for the luggage and all these extras to come. You know, it is a different colour scheme on the gold, possibly a bit more retro than used to be. You know, it's a bit more KTM-y than the Triumph in the looks. So yeah, you know, the screen works very well, which is a plus. Suspension, great. Didn't notice that. So whatever that was set on works out the box. So yeah, not a problem. Great, thanks. Cheers to Honda, Africa Twin DCT, Africa Twin manual. Cheers.